I watched a man get buried alive for telling the truth, and the prince made me hold the lamb. I never planned to tell this story. Where I come from, stories like this follow you. They cling. But I am old now, and the people who mattered are mostly dead. What scares me is that the prince is not. I grew up close to the royal land, where the forest was cut short and the ground stayed red even in dry season. As a boy, I thought it was just soil. As a man, I learned it was not. When I was 20, I got work at the palace. It was simple work. I carried messages. I cleaned rooms. I followed orders. If you were quiet and fast, you stayed alive. The prince was not king yet. His father was sick and could not walk. Everyone said the prince was gentle. He spoke low. He laughed easy. He helped old women stand. He gave coins to children. People loved him. The first strange thing I noticed was how often people disappeared after meeting him. A farmer would come to complain about land taken by soldiers. The prince would listen and nod. 2 weeks later, the farmer's house would be empty. Nobody. No funeral. Just gone. When people asked questions, guards came at night. I told myself it was not my business. One night, I was sent to bring water to the inner rooms. I passed a small house near the wall. I heard someone crying inside. I stopped. A guard saw me and told me to move. His voice was calm, but his hand was on his knife. The next morning, the house was gone. It was like it had never been there. The prince started calling meetings late at night. Only certain elders were invited. When they came out, they did not speak to anyone. Some stopped coming at all. There was an old man named Boko. He was the court record keeper. He wrote everything. Births, deaths, land deals. One day, he told me quietly that pages were missing from the books. I asked him who took them. He said, the prince does not like memory. A week later, Boko was accused of lying to the court. The charge was serious. Lying meant you were working with enemies. Everyone knew what that meant. The prince ordered an old punishment. One I had only heard in stories. That was the night I held the lamp. They dug the hole behind the palace, where no one went unless ordered. The dirt was wet. The guards joked as they walked. Boko stood there shaking. He did not beg. He just kept looking at the prince. The prince told me to stand close and hold the lamp so he could see Boko's face. The hole was deep enough that when they put Boko inside, only his head showed. The prince asked him one last time where the missing pages were. Boko said, "They are in your room." The prince nodded. They filled the hole slowly. Dirt hit Boko's chest, his mouth, his nose. He made sounds I cannot write here. The prince did not look away. After, the prince thanked me for helping. He said loyalty is rewarded. I went home and vomited until morning. After that night, I noticed more things. Prisoners brought in after dark. Wagons leaving before sunrise. Orders written in code. Villages marked on maps, then crossed out. One time, I delivered food to a work camp near the river. Men were digging clay for bricks. They were thin. Some were chained. A man recognized me and whispered my name. I knew him from my childhood. He said, "Tell my wife I did not run." The guard heard him and hit him with a stick. The man fell and did not get up. I went back to the palace and could not eat. Soon after, the prince asked me to follow him on a trip. We went to a village that had refused to give land to the palace. The elders knelt. They said they were loyal. That night, the prince ordered the wells sealed. He said it was temporary. By morning, people were sick. By evening, some were dead. The prince said it was bad water. When we left, soldiers stayed behind. I started to fear sleep. I tried to leave my job. I said my mother was sick. The court master said the prince needed me. He said leaving now would look bad. The prince began testing people. He would tell 2 men different orders and see who talked. He would smile and thank the one who stayed silent. The other would vanish. One evening, he asked me if I was afraid of him. I did not answer fast enough. He said, "Fear keeps order. Love fades." Then he asked me to deliver a message to a forest camp that did not exist on any map. I went. I saw graves that were still fresh. I saw tools stained dark. The guard read the message and nodded. It ordered no food for the camp for 5 days. That night, I made my choice. I did not return to the palace. I walked through the bush until my feet bled. I hid with family far away. Soldiers came once. They asked questions. They left. The king died soon after. The prince became king. Years passed.